Archangel Michael says, I'm about to show you how a hidden truth, a secret strategy you've always carried, guarantees your victory in every situation. This power is already inside you, waiting to be unleashed. And if you skip this, you'll miss the key to unlocking an unstoppable future. Never think less of a mind that is quiet, because that is where real wars are won. That's something they never got about you, chosen one. You were making plans while they were busy braggadocio, fighting for attention and showing off like a master strategist. You were watching their every move and waiting for the right time to strike. They said you were slow. They said you were weird. Some people even said you were crazy. But they didn't know you were playing chess while they were still learning how to move their pieces. Think about this for a moment. Picked. There is a lion sitting still in tall grass while hyenas laugh and circle around. The lion doesn't roar or do anything else. It looks around. People think that being still means they are weak until the lion stands up. All of a sudden, there is no sound in the jungle. That's you. You are the lion in the life's tall grass. Being calm, patient, and strategic. Things change though when you move. Anyone would have known about your power, so you never had to tell anyone about it. The universe made your mind the way it is for a reason. It's your most powerful weapon. Also, this is true. The enemy will hate you. Studies show that the smartest people in the world often seem unfocused, shy, or distant. This is because their brains are always thinking 10 steps ahead, running simulations. That's you. You don't answer. You plan ahead. You don't fight. You look around. You don't want to get even. Time shows everything to you. That's what makes them crazy. How you can stay 3 moves ahead of them while they try to figure out what game you're playing. Also, thanks for being here, chosen one. When you're done reading this message, don't forget to like and subscribe to help it reach more people. Every single one of us needs to spread the light. Thanks for being a part of this mission and for being a force that can't be put down. Mon-air controlled. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel, your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give and it will be given to you is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose. Join the conversation and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today. Join our community and see what God brings back into your life. Let's go take into it now. Since this message isn't just about being smart, the story is about a mind that changes the rules of every game it plays. You chosen one are a very smart person. Being loud doesn't help you win. You get the win because you're right. As you know, the person who is making the most noise is usually the most desperate. You're also very good at saying little while knowing a lot. You now know that being smart isn't about showing off what you know. It's meant to be used like a secret blade. That's not how you swing it. You have to wait for the exact second that matters. People are afraid of things they don't understand. And nothing confuses stupid people more than a quiet genius who doesn't want to be liked. They can't read your mind, and that makes them angry because they can't figure out why you're so calm and sure of yourself. They try to call you strange, distant, or mysterious. There is something mentally dangerous about you though that they know deep down. When you speak, your words have weight. You always act at the perfect time. You don't act on impulse. You plan ahead. Like a grandmaster looking at the board. You've thought about every move you make. And now the beautiful truth they can't stand. People who haven't seen the many mental battles you've already won in silence don't know how easy your wins look. You now know that you don't have to show how smart you are. The results should do the talking for you. In a world that is all about reactions, you've learned to be patient. That's why the universe is on your side. You show that being calm is powerful. People who need noise are scared of your silence. People who are afraid of being responsible hear your silence like thunder. Let them think less of you, chosen one. Let them joke around and laugh and act like you don't know, because they will find out that you were planning the whole thing from behind the scenes, when that it always does, which it always does. Your hand is behind the shift, but no one can see it. You're the surprise that no one saw coming. You are a reminder that real power doesn't show up. When the universe thinks the time is right, it shows itself. Remember that the universe's smartest minds are hidden behind faces that are easy to misunderstand. That's the best defense there is. Your uniqueness, your strange habits, and how quiet you are. It's not a mistake. That's a mask. You were never meant to fit in from above. You were supposed to look at the chaos. When they called you weird, you were just being unique. Every time they had doubts about you, you got better. And every time they thought they had won, you were just keeping track of their actions. For the next time, you won. That's the reason you always win, because you don't feel anything. You make smart moves. You don't try to get attention. When your results speak, you let the universe shine a light on you. You are not in a race. You're making things. You are not showing. You're setting up, because your mind doesn't just think outside the box. You're too old for their games. It was planned by the architect. It's true that no one else can think like you. You are the only one, and your mind was made for bigger tasks. Tasks that need to be done in silence with careful planning and accuracy. You don't chase, you attract by being in the right place. You don't beg, you build. You take your time. You do the math. That's why they'll always be behind you when they try to copy you. There's more to your intelligence than meets the eye. The universe made sure of that. It is the kind that gets rid of lies without getting into a fight. You do not need to swing a sword to win your wars. They will like you more if you stay true to yourself while everyone else tries to copy you. At the end of it all, chosen one, they'll understand that the scariest kind of power isn't loud or obvious. It's quiet, planned, and can't be stopped. And that's you, the smart genius who always wins. Hey there, chosen one. Stay with me now, because what you heard was just the beginning. Things are about to get really clear. After being buried for a long time, the truth is now finally being seen. You're about to understand why they're upset, why it was their biggest mistake to believe the lies about you. Take a deep breath and get ready. Because from now on, every word will show how your enemies are now choked on their own stories and how your silence became your strength. Leave a comment below with the number 77 if you're ready to ride their lies to victory. And if you can, please thank the people who worked on this message. Your energy is what drives this mission. Your help makes this light reach more people than any rumor could. Let's take it one step at a time. And trust me, you'll feel a pull to stay until the very end. If you are a chosen one, what's going to happen next will not only prove who you are, it will also show how smart you really are. Let's start. First, there is the silent killer. You attack when they're not looking. Real power doesn't make itself known, so the loudest person in the room always falls first. That's the truth they didn't know. Picked. Your calmness was seen as fear. Your humility is doubt. And your silence is weakness. They had no idea they were up against a silent killer. Someone who fights with accuracy instead of noise. You were getting information while they were trying to get attention. When they were being cocky and showing off, you were quietly sharpening your blade. Now that blade is ready not to kill, but to stab them in the back to remind them how stupid it was to underestimate you. Think about this for a moment. Storms don't let anyone know when they're coming. Chosen one. It grows slowly over time, getting stronger in the sky that can't be seen. Birds don't know what's coming until they hear the first crack of thunder. That's you. It's been quiet while you've been getting stronger, making them think the storm is over when it's really just been getting ready. After you're back, you've been following their every move and analyzing every lie, smirk, and whisper. You've been calm, but you haven't been asleep. You've been patient, but you've never been helpless. The universe gave you the smarts to look at the battlefield before the enemy moves because true masterminds don't try to win right away. They figure it out. This fact will help you remember that moving quietly is fine. Studies in psychology show that the smartest people in business, politics, and war all have one thing in common. They are calm, being able to keep quiet while making plans. Think of Warren Buffett, who once said, "The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient." Replace money with energy. And that's exactly what happens in your life. The impatient ones, the ones who mock you, doubt you, try to expose you. They end up handing their power to you without realizing it. Because while they react, you read. While they attack, you adjust. And when it's time to act, your timing is flawless. Let's not forget people like Bruce Lee, who once said, "Be like water." That's what you've mastered, chosen one. You've learned how to adapt, how to flow, how to become formless when necessary. People try to poke you, predict you. But how can anyone predict something that has no fixed form? You're fluid. One day you're calm and smiling, and the next you're silent and strategic. That unpredictability terrifies them. They don't know how to handle someone who can play humble while holding the mind of a genius. They ask themselves, why doesn't the chosen one react? Why do they always look like they don't care? The answer is simple. Because you already saw the outcome before it even happened. You don't need to react when you already know how the story ends. That's what separates you from the average mind. They live in moments. You live in foresight. You understand that not every action deserves a reaction. Some things deserve silence, and silence is often the deadliest strike of all. Think of it like this. In chess, the queen doesn't move on impulse. She waits, watching every pawn fall into place. You are that queen, that strategist. The enemies who thought they could trap you are about to realize you've been guiding the entire game. You don't need to shout checkmate. The silence after your move says it for you. And that silence, that sharp cutting silence, is what kills their ego faster than any confrontation ever could. Your enemies are about to face the consequence of their biggest miscalculation. They thought your kindness meant weakness. They thought your patience meant passivity. But what they didn't realize was that you've been observing like an assassin in disguise. Learning their weaknesses, memorizing their patterns. Every insult, every betrayal, every fake smile was a breadcrumb leading you to their truth. You let them believe they had control. But the moment they revealed themselves, the power shifted back to you completely. That's what it means to be a silent assassin. You win without ever needing to make noise. Now, here's what's really going to sting them. Your rise won't even look like revenge. It'll look natural, effortless. The same people who mocked you will have to clap for you in public while choking on regret in private. They'll pretend they always believed in you because your success won't be deniable. They'll whisper, "How did they do it?" But deep down they'll know it was your silence that built everything they tried to destroy. And maybe you've asked yourself, why do I always have to stay quiet while they spread lies? The answer is because truth doesn't rush to prove itself. Lies require attention to survive. Truth only needs time. And that's why you're winning without saying a word. You've learned that silence exposes louder than arguments ever could. When you stop reacting, they lose control. When you stop explaining, they lose access. And when you stop caring, they lose their power completely. Even nature supports this law. A snake doesn't hiss before it strikes. An eagle doesn't flap its wings loudly before it dives. Power moves quietly because it doesn't need an audience. It needs precision. That's why the universe made you this way, chosen one. Your mind is engineered for stealth success. While they scream to be noticed, you're building legacies in silence. While they crave recognition, you crave alignment. That's why your wins hit different. They come out of nowhere, but they were planned all along. And let's be honest, that's what drives them insane. The fact that they can't figure you out. They can't predict when you'll make your move. And they can't stop you when you do. It's like trying to catch wind with their hands. Impossible. You are the wind and they'll feel your impact before they ever see you coming. So remember this. You don't need to roar to be powerful. You don't need to prove your intelligence to those who can't even comprehend it. You're not meant to fit their expectations. You're meant to rewrite them. You are the embodiment of patience, precision, and mental warfare. You win battles before realize even there's a war happening. That's what it means to be a mastermind. That's what it means to be chosen. And the next time they call you quiet, distant, or mysterious, smile. Because what they're really saying is, we can't read you. People who depend on chaos to stay alive can't read you anymore. Their confusion is your calm. Their punishment is for you to keep quiet. And your success is the punishment they'll never get over. So, chosen one, keep moving quietly. Keep going with the long game. Let your silence keep ringing out louder than theirs. Because you're not here to show how smart you are. You're here to remind them that smart people don't yell, they act. It will be too late by the time they figure out how far ahead you've been the whole time. It's always the silent killer who wins. Not because they're mean, but because they are clear. Getting mad at your enemies won't help you. You destroy them with proof. Your happiness, your wealth, and your unstoppable brilliance. Second, being stupid was the smartest thing you ever did. Let them think you're not smart. When their pride becomes proof of your brilliance, it's the sweetest revenge. That was the game they never got. You've been smarter than everyone else without even trying. You learned early on that being smart doesn't make you powerful. To do that, you need to know when to hide it. You learned that one of the most dangerous things you can do is act like you don't know something. That's because while they're busy underestimating you, you're gathering information, figuring out what they want, and planning your next move like a master strategist. Think about this for a moment. Picked one. A poker player at the table with the best hand, but no expression on their face. That other group of idiots laughs and carelessly throws chips around like they already won. The silent player, on the other hand, just smiles and waits for the right time. Everything changes at once when the cards are flipped or the last move is made. That's you. People think they've read you, but you've really been reading them the whole time. The ancient art of camouflage is now second nature to you, but not in a physical way. You blend in until it's time to attack. And once you do that, they can't get back on track. There's no wrong way to play it smart, as this fact shows. Psychologists say that people who are very smart often do something called strategic self-presentation. In simple terms, it means they do things on purpose to make it look like they can't see how other people act. It's a strong way to stay alive that politicians, military leaders, and even CEOs use. People tell you their whole plan without thinking twice when they don't see you as a threat. That's why you've always been ahead. You're not being quiet because you're shy. You're quiet because you need to study. The people around you think you are confused because you are calm, kind, and patient, but they forget. By being harmless, you were able to get close enough to know all of their fears. You found out what drives them and what they hide behind those fake smiles. You saw right through the ego to the fear that was hiding behind it. That's what makes you different from them. Their main goal is to show how strong they are. You are busy making yourself unstoppable. Just think about Einstein. People often think of them as distracted, distant, or strange. People made fun of his habits and said he looked like he was deep in thought. They didn't know that he was seeing dimensions that they couldn't understand. You have the same kind of quiet genius, chosen one. To be useful, you don't need to be understood. You don't have to be loud to show that you're good. You know that not saying anything adds to the mystery. Icy is power too. People are scared of the unknown because they can't control what they can't describe. That's why they talk, guess, and make up stories to fill the void you leave. That's your magic, though. You get ahead every time they think less of you. You've used their lack of knowledge to hide yourself. You're making plans while they laugh. You're making plans while they're bragging. When the time is right and everything is in place, you make your move so quietly that it seems like fate had happened. Let's get this straight. Being smart is what you do when you play dumb. The smartest hunters don't go after their prey. Instead, they lure them in. They know that being cow-faced wins over being angry. You chosen one know how to keep that balance. You know the fastest way to get someone to show you where they're not in charge is to make them think they are. You let them walk right into the trap they set for you, not realizing that each step they take makes the net around them tighter. That smart's dressed up as innocence. Sun Tzu said in The Art of War, always look weak when you are strong and strong when you are weak. That's how your energy works. You let other people underestimate how deep you are. And that's how you stay safe, because they would never be able to sleep again if they saw how smart you really are. You were meant to be a mystery. You are a weapon that looks like peace. And that's exactly how the universe planned it to be. And maybe you've thought about yourself before. Why do I always hold back when I know I could expose them? Is a question you may have asked yourself. Since your goal is not to prove, but to preserve. You don't need small minds to agree with you. You're keeping your energy, plan, and next move safe. They're loud to be heard. You're not talking because you already know. Now, think about the smartest people in history. Cleopatra, Leonardo da Vinci, and even Nikola Tesla. Each of them was thought less of than they really were. They were careful in their roles and let other people misunderstand how simple they were until it was too late to fix how brilliant they were. That is a rare skill that you also have. You let people get the wrong idea about you because it's easier to trick someone who thinks they know you already. It takes them a while to realize that they were never really in charge of you because they're too proud to admit it. That's the worst thing for them. They realize that the person they laughed at, didn't believe and brushed off was writing the ending to their story. Getting back at them won't bring them down. They'll understand that you saw everything, didn't say anything, and still won. That is the power of hold back. Minds that don't have to scream to be heard have power like that. In the wild, too, the most dangerous animals are often the ones that are the quietest. It doesn't roar. It doesn't sound the alarm. The owl does not talk. They watch and wait. And when the time is right, they strike so hard that their prey has no chance to protect itself. That's the way you move. You don't act on impulse. You're on purpose. Every moment of silence is a calculation. Every break is a setup. Everything I didn't know is a plan. Your enemies never got it that you don't react because you know what they're going to do. You don't have to defend yourself because the truth always comes out on its own. You don't try to get results through alignment. You bring them to you. And the great thing about your silence is that it lets people know without you saying a thing. What they do always shows who they are. Being careful shows what kind of person you've become. When people whisper that you're too quiet or joke that you're slow, smile inside. They were wrong about how good you were, but you were learning every play they made. It won't be noisy when you finally decide to move. It will be accurate. No one will need to tell you that you won. It will be clear. People who made fun of you will one day be careful when they say your name because they'll know you were never naive. It was just that you were aware. If you are the chosen one, you are strategic power personified. You're the peace before the storm. You're always quiet before a shift. You already know you can do it, so you win. You let the real world do it for you. And when they find out that the fool they thought they were playing was actually the game's mastermind, the sound of their own laughter will be the sound of defeat. Don't ever doubt your silence again. You'll buy yourself time every time you act like you don't know something. So don't feel bad about it. It's time to win. Watch and plan. The world was made to reward loud people, but the universe likes smart people more. You, chosen one, are both the test and the lessons. The one who makes them think they're winning until they figure out that you had them all. Third, you don't hold out your hand. You only need to run the play. They never talk about what they're going to do next. They just score. And the scoreboard does the rest. That's what makes you different from the chosen one. They tell everyone about every step to get attention, but you keep your plans secret. You now know that power doesn't need to be proven. It needs to be done. You're like a great athlete who doesn't show what to do. You only need to run the play. While others try to get cheap praise, you stay disciplined, calm, and patient. And when the time is right, when the whistle blows, you hit with such accuracy that no one can say a word. Take a look. The best basketball players don't say anything when they're about to shoot. They know how to read the court and feel the rhythm, and then swoosh, they win. The quarterback doesn't yell his plan to the defense in football. He keeps it secret, coded, and that's how you live your life. You are not the showman. You are the strategist. People are trying to guess what you'll do next, but you've already changed your mind. They do not understand that your silence is not a sign of confusion, but of control. The world made you this way for a reason. You shouldn't move like everyone else. Your timing is just right. The universe knows when to let your plans go, when to let you wake up, and when to reward you for all those quiet hours. That's why your secret superpower is patience. To be a real winner, you know that speed isn't important. Accuracy is. You're not in a hurry to show anything. Things are getting ready for you to move before you do it. Others ask, why don't you tell them what you're working on? Because chosen one, not everyone who is cheering for you is on your side. Some claps to keep track of your progress. Some people smile just to find out more about you. You now know that energy is money. Plus, your plans are too good to share. People will try to hurt you if you go public too soon. But if you keep quiet, you can go around obstacles without being seen or touched. So, they can't stop your blessings. They never guess when they'll come. Take a look at the best icons. There was Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Serena Williams. They didn't brag about how hardest they went through it. They practiced in silence, got ready alone, and shocked everyone when they did it, which is what you're doing. You are preparing their minds, hearts, and spirits for things they can't even imagine. The world hears everything you say, even when you don't say anything. Every time you put off taking your next step, fate lines it up to have the most impact. Don't let them think your silence isn't important. Allow them to believe that you have ceased to move. They don't know that you're in the middle of a play that they can't stop. You have been using plans made by the universe itself. You've stopped making announcements because you know that not everyone needs to be there to see your success. When they see you move again, it won't be words. It will be work. You're not hidden. You're setting up. You're not running away. You're moving forward. You're not scared. You're on task. They'll think it happened overnight when your time comes. You'll know the truth, though. You were perfectly running the play the whole time, quietly and without stopping. For the fourth time, the long game is always yours. The impatient try to get your attention. The wise don't speak when they build empires. That's you picked one. In a world where everyone wants things right away, you've learned the rare skill of patience. Others are going around in circles to look like they're doing well, but you're building something that will last. You know that the universe doesn't reward those who act quickly, but those who are ready. You've learned a lot from every delay, every quiet season, and every slow moment. You're not behind, you're just getting better. You're like a crock pot in a world of microwaves. Slow and steady. And you can't stop once the taste starts to kick in. Now, think about this chosen one. A seed that was buried. The day you plant it, it doesn't sprout. Things don't seem to be going anywhere for weeks. The ground is quiet. The world doesn't know, but roots are growing below the surface. Strong, deep, and unbreakable. That was you. People thought you were stuck because you were so still, but you were actually growing roots. The universe was building up your base so that your growth could never be stopped. This is because quick success fades, but divine timing lasts forever. You can use patience as a secret weapon. When things take time, you don't freak out. You know that everything important changes with the seasons. Space is always on time. It's on purpose. Like how good wine takes years to get better with age. Your greatness needs time to get even better. The universe slowed you down because of this while everyone else was running fast. That wasn't a punishment. It was very accurate. The wait was to protect you. Because if your blessing had come too early, the wrong people would have said they were theirs. Yes, you have seen it, right? People who made fun of your slow progress are getting tired of it. People who laughed at you when you were patient are now too busy, too tired, or not interested in you anymore. For when you play the long game, you save energy while they use theirs to prove a point. You don't hunt for speed. You leave a legacy. It's not a race for noise. People will respect. And when the time comes, your rise will be easy because you didn't rush the process. When you trust the universe's timing, it always has your back. It's like a big game of chess. It gets easier to see what to do next the longer you wait. Every season of peace was part of a plan. Every time you felt like you were forgotten, you were getting better. You've learned to be smart, in control of your emotions, and strong by taking the slow path. How every real mastermind is made up of 3 things. That's why you can't be stopped now. There's no more need for proof. It's been seen that patience wins every fight that ego starts. So keep building in silence. Keep letting your timing happen on its own so that when your time comes, it won't feel forced. You'll feel like you deserve it. This won't be a lucky break for you. It will happen because you didn't give up during everything you went through. Nobody in the universe is in a hurry to be perfect. And you shouldn't be either. You've already left. You're getting ready. And people will understand why it took so long when they finally try what you've been making. You've always had the long game chosen one because you never gave up patience to be popular. 5th, the trap they set for you ended up being their own downfall. They put together a trap with your name on it and locked themselves inside. That's poetic justice, right? Chosen one. They thought they were smart and could use their knowledge to trick you, make you feel bad, and play games with you. What they didn't know, though, is that when the universe is on your side, any move against you is an act of self-destruction. There was nothing you had to do. They told you to stay still and let the energy they sent out come back to them. That's how things work in the world. Someone who was planted for a reason can't be buried. Think about this for a moment. Picked. Someone is digging a hole in the ground and laughing as they whisper your name under their breath. They are sure they are going to win. They dig deeper and throw dirt behind them. As the days go by, they dig deeper and deeper until they reach a point where they can't get out. That's what took place. They planned their own death because they thought it was your grave. The lies they told turned out to be proof that they were lying. People found out who they really were through the stories they twisted. And you didn't have to answer, argue, or defend yourself. You just stood tall while their lies fell apart under the weight of them. Now you see how great it is to stay true to yourself. It doesn't need to be defended. Things in the universe are always just right. It doesn't need you to get back at it. There is no talking in this case. Their rumors turned into a confession. Because they were jealous, they had proof. Their obsession with trying to hurt you became a mirror that showed how dark they really were. They made you look bad. When everything was said and done, however, everyone saw that you were being honest while they were lying. You may have also thought, why didn't the universe stop them sooner? Why did I have to go through that? Because you were the chosen one, the universe used their cruelty to help you grow. You had to find out who was lying. You had to find out who would pay money to get people to notice your name. It was important for you to see what envy looks like when it's happy. Every betrayal taught you something you wouldn't have known any other way. And every truth made you stronger than their lies ever could. Take a look at them. The people who thought they could beat you are now following you around like ghosts. The bonds between them are breaking down. Their reputations are getting worse. There are cracks in their fake smiles. What they don't get is how you're still standing there while everything else falls apart. You do though. This means you know that karma doesn't need your help. It only needs time. You didn't move for long enough for the wheel to turn. Everything is now going your way. The best part is that you came out better, stronger, and smarter. When they tried to make you feel bad, it made you stronger. Their efforts to find out the truth of, but you only made it clear. What they did to hurt you turned into fuel for your rise. You are living proof that something that the universe has chosen to bless can't be cursed. Every story was a step. Every insult hit hard. And everything they threw at you used to build your castle. Chosen one. Don't even bother to look back. Let them sit in the mess they made. When you hate someone on purpose to protect them, you teach them a painful truth. That hate goes tacked 10 times. When the universe plays chess for you, you don't need to get even. You were never meant to fall into the trap. It was for them. They didn't know until the door shut itself. 6. You let them talk because the most powerful weapon you have is silence. Let the jerks make noise. There is no such thing as a lost argument. That's your quiet philosophy. Picked one. You now know that real power doesn't answer. It looks around. You don't waste time trying to explain the truth to people who are determined to get it wrong because you know how this ends. You let them talk, laugh, and tell stories. When everything is over, only one voice will still make sense. It's never the person who screamed the loudest. It's the one that didn't freak out and stayed calm. That's you. You didn't have to defend yourself. It's like you let the universe defend you in a way that no language could ever explain. Now picture this chosen one in a courtroom where everyone is yelling, accusing, and acting out. It's very noisy in the air. But then the truth walks in unmistakable, full of facts, and everyone in the room stops moving. That's what happens every time you choose to be quiet instead of speaking out. Your calmness gives you power. You don't have to prove anything. The truth will find those who wait for it regardless. That's why people who are against you hate you. They don't like it when you don't play their game. They wanted a mess. You calmed them down. They wanted a show. You kept them apart. They were interested in how you would react. But your silence made them hungry. This is what makes your silence so dangerous. It lets people tan out you saying a word. They keep saying things that don't make sense as they talk. They look more guilty the more they talk about other people. They improve your reputation the more they try to bring it down. There is a law in the universe that kills lies quickly. The truth makes them rot. And your calm patience is the blade that separates their stories. You may have thought, why should I keep quiet when I can clear my name? Truth doesn't rush because you are the chosen one. It comes at its own pace. When it does, it breaks everything that isn't true. You would have stopped your vindication. If you defended yourself too soon, you shouldn't argue. You're meant to last longer. The universe has also been watching how you handled being attacked. It's getting ready to give back 10 times the energy. Not by getting even, but by being found out. Take a look back. People who used to laugh are now trying not to look at you. People who used to spread rumors are now saying sorry behind closed doors. That's what being quiet does. It doesn't stop the storm. It lasts longer than it does. Their noise stops when you don't bother them. If you stay calm, their lies will fall apart on their own. Because of this, your silence speaks louder than anything they say. Of course, you've seen it, right? People who used to support them are beginning to see. As more information comes together, people realize that you were never the bad guy. The noise made it impossible for them to hear the truth from you. Your silence is louder than any sound now that the noise has gone away. You've shown that peeing count a sign of weakness. What its plan is? Let them talk. Picked one. Let them throw insults like rocks because each one will help you build your monument. They can't lie anymore because you haven't said anything. And when the universe finally tells us the truth, it will send us a clear message. You were moving up to number 7 while they were on stage. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus, a plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. The world is about to see what you've been working on. They laughed since they couldn't see it. Soon though, they'll see that you were building an empire right in front of them. That's where you are now. Picked one on purpose. You've been quiet, consistent, and hard to see. There is something so powerful that the universe has been keeping it safe behind a veil of patience that you have been making. Every night, every day of peace and quiet. You wondered if your hard work would ever pay off. Everything has been building up to this. There is a huge change happening. What you've been working on behind closed doors is about to be seen by everyone. And when not even your enemies will be able to deny how smart you are. Think about this for a moment. Chosen one, a sculptor who is working behind closed doors on a great work of art. People walk by and only see a block of marble for months or even years. They make fun of. They have doubts. They say it's empty. The sculptor doesn't answer, though. He keeps chipping, carving, and improving. Then one day, the curtains come down, and there's no longer a block in front of them. Artistry, that's you. Meanwhile, everyone else was making fun of your silence while you worked on your craft, your future, and your power. What they didn't know was that you were making something that the universe liked. What's interesting is this. Neuroscientists have found that being consistent over time changes the brain so that it can master something. That means that every little thing you did, every plan you wrote, every vision you protected, and every late night you worked through was shaping your future success. Not only were you working, but you were also changing your fate. Now, after all that work, everything is coming together to make one perfect reveal. The universe doesn't make things quickly. It shows up when there is no other choice. Right now, you're moving into that moment. They'll act like they're shocked, but they knew this day was going to happen. They could feel your energy changing, your silence getting deeper, and your confidence coming back. That's why they began to worry, talk about each other, or compete. Because the soul always knows when someone is about to go too high to reach. They can't stop it now. The time you were invisible was God's way of getting you ready. The silence that kept you safe is about to become your stage, and the effects will be felt right away when the universe finally pulls back the curtain. Your skill, discipline, intelligence, and purpose along with everything else you've been with become clear. People will ask you, where did this come from? But you'll know. You'll know it came from all the times you didn't give up when no one was looking. You will know it came from trusting your timing, your vision, and the things you can't see. So don't worry, chosen one. The universe is setting you up for a big reveal that will put to all the rumors, doubts, and bad things that have been said about you. You won't have to tell anyone about it. What you get will do that for you. People who didn't pay attention to you before will now look at how you do things. The people who fired you will quote you. People who laughed will have to sit quietly while your brilliance fills the room they tried to keep you out of. This is where the universe goes from whispers to cheers. This is where your private wins become proof in front of everyone. You didn't try to get more power. You left a legacy. You didn't say anything. You made it. The world is now ready to see what happens when patience, purpose, and defined timing all work together. It's not luck, chosen one. This is the moment when everything you were meant to be comes out. 8. Their fame came from your name. The mask is now off. They used your light to become brighter. The universe is now cutting them off from power. Right now, chosen one. That's what's going. People put their names on your back for too long. They copied your thoughts, skewed your truth, and used your energy like parasites who pretended to be creators. They made fun of your original work while copying it behind your back. In public, they put you down, but behind your back, they were studying you. The show is over, though. The mask is coming off. The curtain is coming down. The world is about to find out who was real and who was acting. The truth is getting stronger. It's also not gentle. It's coming like a storm to wash away all the fakes that try to appear to be you. Think about this for a moment. Pick someone shining a light on a stage where actors are. People in the audience thought it for a while. Everything about it looked real. The clothes, the voice, the words. But you can't hide the difference when the real you walks out. People in the room gasp. Putting the fake thing in real light makes it fail. That's what's going to now. All masks are melting as the universe turns the lights back on. You didn't have to show them off. Their downfall has been planned out word for word by the way they act. Here is a fact that you should know. The term for this in psychology is identity envy. It happens when someone's originality scares other people so much that they start to copy them just to feel like they belong. Sure enough, they did that to you. They tried to put on your personality like a costume because they thought it would make them stronger. They forgot though that you can't steal energy. It's something you have to show because you were chosen. Imitation doesn't work that way. Only real things are supported by the universe. The energy they borrowed is now running out. Their fans can feel it. It's not the same when they talk. Their presence makes me feel empty. Why? Because the source they took from you has grown. The world cut the line. What looked like trust in them before now looks like desperation. They can't stop the illusion from falling apart because it's happening right now. You may have asked yourself why they were able to win for so long. Because being exposed tastes better when you can't hide it. You had to watch them build with stolen bricks so that when they fell, the truth would be pure. Every time they said they came up with your ideas, they were building evidence against themselves. They were writing their own guilt into the record every time they made fun of you. The world doesn't forget. It just knows exactly when to reveal things. Now is the time. Some people are beginning to see the bigger picture. Their originality, ideas, and the energy they liked in other places can all be traced back to you. The real one, the source, the blueprint. The people who tried to hide your name are about to choke on it. And the universe doesn't whisper when it's time to tell someone the truth. It yells and it will scream until they fall. Let the masks fall. Picked one. Those who spread lies should be left to fall apart. You don't have to fight the bank. You deserve praise. You don't have to show who you are. It's already clear from your essence. The world is going to remember how unique you are in ways that you didn't expect. The people who tried to get rid of you will have to watch as everything they built around your name falls apart in front of everyone they tried to impress. Their defeat came from your silence. Their exposure comes from how real you are. You don't need to defend the truth. It only took time. Now is that time. The universe is slowly but surely restoring your name, image, and power in public and for good. Their fame came from your name. Everyone can see now that the light is on. You are the only one who is truly unique. 9. In the end, the mastermind always wins. While you were building the board, they played checkers. That's the spirit chosen. The world tried to trick you. Talk smarter and run faster than you. But here you are still standing while they've given up. You never had to prove how smart you were. That's what time does for you. They couldn't see the bigger picture, but every choice you made, every moment of silence and every move you put off was part of a pattern. You have to work hard to win. You win because your mind works in ways that other people can't even imagine. That is really what it means to be a mastermind. Seeing the whole game while they're still learning how it works. Now picture this person who was picked moving chess pieces on a big board. Everyone is looking at fancy moves like pawns moving quickly, knights showing off, and queens attacking, suing all. You, on the other hand, move very precisely. You give up pieces that other people hold on to. You can see 10 moves ahead. You're quietly setting up checkmate while they try to get short-term wins. That's the reason you always win. The universe put your mind in a place where it can endure, not have fun. You don't answer. You figure things out. Don't beg and just watch. And when the time is right, your silence turns into a plan. Your patience turns into timing. And it looks like you'll win. Some people used to think you were too quiet, calm, or slow, but they didn't know you were getting better at being calm. And being calm is power. It was the universe's way of telling you ahead of time that you'd be around people who act without thinking. You're not just smart, you're dangerous. People who are against you study, change, and adapt faster than they can even keep up. Because of this, the people who once thought less of you now watch you with fear. That looks like interest. People don't understand how you always win, but you do. Now, here's the trick. They'll never get it. You don't just get ahead. You change the battlefield. You are not fighting on the same level as them. You raise the level of play so high that they can't breathe. You let them chase illusions until they're worn out. While you save your energy for legacy, you don't just win when you feel like it. Since you know how the universe works, they will happen. When you are honest, follow the rules and be precise. Things will work out in the end. Thinkers are favored by the universe, not reactors. It helps people who move on purpose instead of by accident. You learn to handle your feelings without letting them get in the way of your mission. You learn that getting even is pointless, but getting things done earns respect. You learn that strength is kept safe in silence and that endurance is the most brilliant form of brilliance. Like that, you're not where you are by chance. It was planned. Your journey was planned by the universe to make you impossible to touch. Take a look at your path. Every secret, every weight, and every moment of doubt. Look at how everything fits together. You used to question how the puzzle pieces fit together. But now they do. Every loss helped you figure out what to do next. Every time you were put down, it was a step toward your rise. Every ending was a start. You didn't just make it through your story. You were the author. The enemies were just extras in a story that always ended with your rise to power. The time of quiet building is now over. The universe is about to show the world what can happen when a mastermind acts in sync with it. Now is the time of your victory. Not loud, but well known. There's no need to cheer. Your work will be heard more clearly than clapping. They can look at you, copy you, or be jealous of you. It doesn't matter because you can't catch up to someone who is already ahead of you in the mind as well as the game. Now, chosen one, walk forward with the confidence of someone who knows will end. You deserve this chance. You chose the right card for each situation. You've turned suffering into knowledge, stillness into a plan, and waiting into a way to win. People will call it luck or fate. But you'll know the truth. You always win because you think more deeply than they do. The mastermind never bragged, begged, or broke. This person always wins in the end. Now, chosen one, remember this as the last piece of the puzzle falls into place. Everything they did to hurt you only showed how smart you are. You were never behind. You were making things. You were always ahead. You learned something. The universe has made sure that you will always win. Stand tall in your strength, your silence, and your plan because this is your time to win. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry. When Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall. Share your heart. And as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now. Join the family and see your heavens open. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment. A place where divine abundance is not just a hope but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.